Hello, hello, dear friends. Hello, those who love football, those who are interested in football, those who follow football, and those who may fall in love with football, or at least are not against it. So today is a very big day in the Euro 2024. We have two classic matches. We have Germany against Spain and France, Portugal. Uh, very probably. Well, probabilities are always shaky, but it's very probable that one of those four teams is going to win the championship. At least, at least uh, those are the prognosis that a lot of experts, coaches, even ex-footballers are making. How will I how will I construct all of it? I'll look at each team individually. I chose two matches each, more or less, to show how they played, and we are going to try try to understand how they can play today, keeping in mind, of course, the opponent. So I start from the most difficult game that Germany played up to now. It was in the group stage. It was the game against Switzerland. The fact is that this was the game for the first place in the group. Every team wants to take the first place, even if it's more convenient, and it probably would have been more convenient for Germany to take the second, but more convenient because they would have fallen into a more easier half of the playoff table. But I mean, of course, the desire to win is above all, because by winning you keep the team spirit up. The team gets that winner's spirit, and that's very important in all the future games. So Germany played. Let us show the disposition, the lineup. I mean, it was the usual German lineup. It was 4-2-3-1, uh, where Musiala, Gundogan, and Wirtz, who is from Leverkusen, the fresh champion of Germany. Now he and this classic model of Germany, the main, absolutely main link between Gundogan and Kroos. Here you see number 8 and number 21. Of course, on this picture, Kroos is more left, but he moves very much to the center and very often, and Gundogan goes into between the lines, between the defense and midfield of Switzerland, and and this link between them becomes very dangerous. So if we have a look at average positions, uh, positions in this game, so we see that I would not say that Germany was all that organized, because if you have a look at say Gundogan and Wirtz, they were playing one another. Between them was the best midfielder in Switzerland and maybe the best midfielder on this championship, Saka. And basically, and here you have Andrich, another midfield player, and here you have Kroos. I mean, they were crowded, and it's not but they decided to be crowded. It's Switzerland that forced them to be crowded. I mean, Freuler and Saka, they really, I would say, if you can use if you can use that term, just broke the connection between Kroos and Gundogan, and that was probably the main reason for Switzerland's success. I say success because only in additional time Germany equalized. The game was in the hands of the Swiss. Then, if we have a look at attacking thirds, for instance, how the attacks were distributed, so we see Switzerland playing very uniformly on the left and on the right. As a matter of fact, Switzerland is a team which interests us. We are going to talk about Switzerland tomorrow before the game against England. So that's why I'll pay a little bit attention, not much, because our main focus is on Germany. So and if you take Germany's attacking first, you see it's a little bit more even distributed. It's left, it's right is predominant, and center. The right is predominant because we had on the right, Germans had Musial, and Harvards was also very often playing on the right. And if you want to see, let's say, the passing pattern, which show us more or less like this is Switzerland. Switzerland, as we see, Ryder and Embolo. Embolo is the only forward, and he often played behind Ryder. He played almost at the same line with Ndoye. The most used connection was Abisher and Saka. But Saka, as you see, he played a lot of balls, and he distributed left and right. No, right a little bit less. He played a lot with Freuler. So this is Switzerland's thing. What about Germany? Germany had, but I mean, it's a little bit chaotic, I would say. Even if it looks very organized, it is chaotic because these two players, Gundogan and Wirtz, are playing next to each other. Musiala is in front on the same line with Havertz. Our central defenders, Stach and Rudiger, are playing in the same line in the middle, and then in center half and just in the midfield, you have really sort of a kind of a mess which is very difficult. It's difficult to untangle, and I think that this is all merit of Switzerland. They have just forced Germans to play that way. Now, we want to see, I just had a look at the speed of the players, which is, especially Germans, which is very important, which is going to be crucial in the game against Spain. So, the fastest player in German defense is Jonathan Tah. Jonathan Tah, he missed 2 games, and he's going to play today, and that's quite important. One of the slowest players in Germany is not Kimmich, it is Mittelstadt. He was substituted in the last game. He did not play. Raum played, and Raum is quick. He is 32.8 kilometers per hour on average. That means it's not that a football player is always in movement. Sometimes he is walking, sometimes he is running slow, then he makes an acceleration. But on the average, his speed, around speed is very high. And that's why I think that Ram is going to be playing today. Then I want to go immediately to another game of Germany, which is already a knockout game, the first knockout game, round of 16. Let me see the date, is 29. Here, Germany, Denmark, Germany 1-0. It wasn't a super complicated game for Germany, really it wasn't. We have to see the graphics, and the graphics, Germany is a little bit different because Nagelsmann, he did understand certain things. Of course, Tata didn't play because he was unavailable, and Schlottenberg played in his place. Now, Schlottenberg is the slowest of all German defenders. And in this game, Germany's defense really seemed slow. Because the two central defenders really, they give that, when you try to make an artificial offside, then all the four have to go together. Of course, we have to take the speed of the slowest one. Because if the slowest one falls behind, it's almost a goal. It is not going to be an artificial offside. So Schlottersberg is the slowest one, and Rudiger is okay. Rudiger is 30.6 per hour per match. Rudiger is he's around is very quick, 32.8. Kimmich is 31.6. They're really quick. But Schlotterberg is slow. And that influences. It influences especially the game of defense. Now, Dach is coming back today, and Germany is going, I think, to feel itself much more comfortable in defense, though they're playing a very quick Spain. Very quick. So, what else did I want to say here? Well, I think it's quite enough in this game because it just shows us, well, let's see, let's just see the average positions. The average positions in this game here, another, which I did not tell you at the beginning. What did Nagelsmann do? He widened the attack. Allowing Havertz to remain sort of center forward. Havertz is not exactly center forward. He's at times a center forward. At times he's a 9.5. At times he's a 10. He's movable, very, very movable. But to say that he's a classic number 9, no. So you have Musial who played on the left and he scored. Gundogan between the lines and Sane. Leroy Sané. In this game, I really liked the way Sane played. He widened the game. He gave a possibility to stretch the Danish midfield and Danish defense. And together with Kimmich, they formed quite an aggressive couple. We can see it here. Sané and Kimmich, they played a lot. And Rudiger, Kimmich, Sane, it was quite effective. It was one of the most effective zones of Germany in the game against Denmark. And here it's Havertz. Even Havertz was playing more right than in the middle. And here is Gundogan, and here is Kroos, and the Danish coach. He did not human, yes, it's correct. He did not really pay attention to that link, because between Kroos and Gundogan, and I think it was a mistake. But the real change in this team were two players. It was David Raum, who is very, very quick. Here it is with that defender, and Leroy Sané. They changed the game. So I would expect them today to start. It's not for sure, but I would expect them to start. I would expect them to start because if I look at the speed of French players, the slowest one is Nacho, and he is not playing. Nico Williams is 34 per hour. I mean, 34 per hour, keeping in mind all the pauses that he takes during the game. Plus, he's absolutely fantastic dribbler. And you have to look very carefully after him. Then you have Lamine Yamal, who is a bit slower. He's 30.5, but he is also a very good dribbler. He's very technical. He opens himself quite often. He's perfect at stopping the ball. I'll tell you one thing more. The way a player stops the ball is very important. Pay attention to it. A very, very high level player, he stops the ball knowing what he is going to do already. He knows his next move. Will it be a dribbling? Will it be a pass? Yeah. That is a great player. When a player doesn't stop the ball securely, of course he loses the momentum. He loses the momentum, and the team loses the momentum. And your attack slows down. Otherwise, they're all quite quick. And I see Robin Lenormand, who is a defender, is quick, and the only one who is so is Laporte, if he's going to play today. But actually, Spain in general is a quick team. And if we have a look, for instance, let's say they are a very difficult game. Before I finish Germany, I can say, of course, they have a secret weapon, no doubt. They have Niklas Füllkrug, who is the real number one. He's like Rudesh in the old times. He can resolve situations, and he did. In that particular game with Switzerland, he scored in additional time. He plays very well in the air. He chooses well the position. It's not an accident or an incident or unexpected. It's not unexpected. So unexpected. It's unexpected, but not so unexpected that Dortmund, Füllkrug, reached the final of the Champions League. Now, I'm moving to Spain, and I'm moving to their probably most difficult game so far. It was the first game against Croatia. It was the first game against Croatia. It was June 15th, and first game is always very difficult for everybody, and especially against a team like Croatia. But still, even the result was 3-0. I mean, don't pay attention to the result at this moment. Pay attention at how Spain played. It played its usual 4-3-3. But when you have a look at the average positions here, what eventually became a triangle, Rodri, Fabio Ruiz, and Pedri was not yet really formed. Here you see Ruiz, next to him, so close is Rodri, too close, absolutely too close, and here is Pedri. Now, you can say that it's a triangle, but it's not really a triangle. The Spanish had a lot of problems against Switzerland. We can have a look at, say, team stats, which is also it's a good indication, because usually we are used to against Italy, even against Albania when they played with their second team in the first quarterfinal. The first knockout game they played. Of course, we noticed sort of heavy superiority. With the Croatians, it was not like that. However, the Croatians had more chances, more expected goals. They had more shots. They had equal shots on target. They had more shots from inside the box. They had one less total big chance. They had more touches in the opposition box. They had more final third touches. I mean, Croatia was playing, and it was playing really, really well. And here, of course, they had some problems, though the Croatian team is not very quick, as you know, because Modric has his own age, Brozovic has his own age. By the way, he played a horrible game, according to me, and in fact, he was substituted. So 2 players out of 3, Kovacic is okay, but I mean, 2 players out of 3 in the midfield who are already not as young as the opposition, that creates problems. And still, Croatia was able to create problems to France, to Spain, sorry. And exactly because in midfield, Spain wasn't finding again. They were not finding those connections we needed. They could not accelerate as they would like. Only if they got the ball to Nico Williams or to Yamal, something could have happened. Otherwise, it was shallow, quite shallow. And Lenormand played, and Nacho played, and as I say, Nacho is the slowest defender in Spain's squad. And Spain was not. 3-0 is convincing, but the game is not convincing. It happens in football, and it's not a rare phenomenon. Uh, so, and then uh, Spain changed. It changed its game with Italy. I'm on purpose not touching their game against Georgia in a knockout stage because basically it was very similar to Italy, but Italy sort of is a traditionally more organized, traditionally more strong, traditionally more tactical, more prepared for its adversary. But if we go to this game, we can see something different in Spain. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm telling you a lot. You don't need to know it. But it was June 20th. That way I helped myself to find it. And here we have Spain, Italy. And I'll go immediately to, okay, graphics. It's graphics, I mean, Spain on paper plays exactly the same team except for uh, uh, Jonathan Tah is not playing, and Laporte is playing. Laporte is playing. Laporte is white. Laporte is okay. He's 30.9. He's okay. He's quite fast. So, but what changed, at least for me? Everyone has. In football, you have 2,000, 2 million, 20 million, maybe even 2 billion opinions. So, the average positions, let's have a look. And here I'll show you what I think was the real difference. The real difference was the game that that's Fabian Ruiz. That's Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, Rodri, and Pedri. They already created a much wider triangle, and Morata was playing close to Pedri, which made for Pedri easier to play behind the lines, and they used a lot of flanks. I mean, Williams was absolutely unstoppable. Yamal was almost unstoppable. The two defenders were never really under any pressure. So they marked Chiesa quite close. They marked Di Marco, who likes to go along the flank and cross. They marked him quite close. The two central defenders they were not too worried, and Scamacca against whom, I mean, Rodri didn't even play against Scamacca because there was no reason to play against Scamacca. He almost didn't receive any balls, not one playable ball. So here we started seeing the Spain that everybody should fear. If you have a look, for instance, at expected goals, you see, I mean, I think this graphic does not need explanation. Obviously, this is the Italian goal, and this is the Spanish goal. It speaks for itself. No, there is nothing I can do to add. Now, what I wanted to show you is also the heat map, that is the space that is being covered by that triangle. And I'm talking about Rodri, Pedri, and Fabian Ruiz. Look what they cover during the game. It's I would say that it's really it's impressive, to say the least. It's impressive. They participate in the attack. Obviously they control the midfield. They help a lot the defense. It's this. If Germany can break it somehow, now how can you break? How can you break them? You can try and put Musiala and Gundogan playing. Musiala and Gundogan playing. I'll just take my chart. Try to show you what I mean. Yeah, I'm just saying, here, if you have a Spanish triangle, say, with Pedri here, Rodri, say, Rodri and Fabian Ruiz, yeah, what can you oppose to that? You can, this is the Spanish goal. Spanish goal, I say. This is a German goal. What can you do with that? I mean, you have to have one player dedicated to Pedri. You have to have one player. Say here, you have to have dedicated to Pedri. Here, Fabian Ruiz and Rodri. I would probably try to frighten them. Well, of course, it's difficult. It's very difficult. I would like to frighten them with Gundogan and Musiala. That would, of course, weaken my midfield a little bit, but you still have here, you still have Aldrich, you still have Kroos, you have very quick defense, maybe something like that, unless this is useless to break, because they're quite independent. They play with each other quite a bit. Now, I'll show you that they do play with each other quite a bit, but here we have Spain, and here we have Rodri and Fabian Ruiz. Well, not quite a bit. They play quite a lot. So, yeah, you can try and break. You can try and break here. But still, I don't know how much result this is going to be, because anyway, Rodri will feed Pedri, will feed Nico Williams here. He will feed Yamal here, and well, difficult. It's a difficult solution for a coach for Nagelsmann to solve. really very difficult, very, very, very difficult. Maybe today, maybe, I'm just saying maybe, uh, today is the day where um, where uh, they have to play with that massive, massive center forward, Nicholas Füllkrug. Maybe, maybe. Really a difficult dilemma to solve. Very difficult. I think the entire German headquarters is working on it. So, can you make a prediction? It's funny, you know. Jens Lehmann, who remembers, who follows football from a long time, Jens Lehmann played against Spain in 2008, against Spain then managed by Luis Aragones, and they lost. They lost 1-0, I think. I don't remember. Yeah, I think 1-0. And he said the following yesterday. He said the following yesterday. Spain is a little means young, inexperienced, basically like a youth team. Well, I don't know if it is a provocation or it is a serious analysis of a serious player. So, if Germany shows us to be mature and a grown-up team, well, then it might win. Plus, they're going to have the support of the entire stadium and the entire nation. So far, from what I have seen, I would give the advantage to Spain, but it's true that young teams are rarely very constant. But again, when we speak about Spain and we say that it's a young team, basically, we mean the two wingers, because Rodri and Fabian Ruiz are not youngsters. Yes, Pedri is young. So the three. All the rest are quite experienced players who play their football in very good clubs, high level clubs. So I don't know how much France is a youth team, but of course you may expect high quality from, say, Nico Williams, and you may not get it today. You may expect high quality from Yamal, you may not get it today. But what I think that Pedri is not going to start today's game. I think that Dani Olmo, who substituted him in the previous game against Georgia and who scored the goal, I think that Dani Olmo today is more dependable. He's got, he's in a better form, simply speaking. That's it. Here I finished with Spain and Germany. Now, somebody who has not time to watch it all, you can turn it off and then turn it on again to listen to Portugal-France, which is the second game today, and which is also a game for people with a strong heart. If in the previous game we have the referee Anthony Taylor, the British referee, me personally, I like him a lot. He makes mistakes, he's human, but I like him a lot because he allows to play. He is not vengeful against the players, and there are referees who are vengeful against the players. Say, I'll give you an example. What was it? The last and the only red card. I don't remember the game anymore. But the referee was absolutely vengeful. Barak, Czech Republic. Czech Republic played the knockout game, and in a matter of 9 minutes, the referee gave him 2 yellow cards. The second one, absolutely avoidable. I imagine that Barak said something unpleasant during the first yellow card, which was absolutely deserved, and the referee was not able to forgive it. It happens. It should not. The second referee on match Portugal-France is another British referee, Michael Oliver. Oliver, a weak point according to me, he always sort of is a little bit on the side of the stronger. Well, on the team whose name is a little bit more known. So in this case, France is, of course, I think, favored against Portugal. And another thing I'll tell you, N'Golo Kante came back to the national team. He missed the last World Cup in Qatar. He plays in Saudi Arabia. And you know what is very interesting? That N'Golo Kante in the French national team, he played 19 games. France never lost. Never. With him in the lineup. They had 19 games, 13 wins, 6 draws. Never lost. So Kante is not only a very good player, but he's also sort of kind of, I don't know, talisman of success. But that's all. So to say. So the first game I wanted to show of France is, of course, against Belgium, because that was a knockout stage. That was very sort of not very predictable game, to say the least. Here we go. France, Belgium. And if we look immediately at the lineups, what French was playing. French was playing with Saliba, who is a fantastic, in my opinion, central defender. Upamecano, who is a very experienced and very strong. Theo Fernandez on the left, and Conde on the right. And I don't know, maybe the defense is going to stay the same way. Not that certain, but I have that suspicion. Rabiot on the right, on the left side of midfield, he is disqualified. He's not going to be playing today. I think everybody writes, and the reporters following the French team, they say that Rabiot is going to be substituted by Cavaminga. Tuchmani is going to play central in middle field, and Kante on the right. Now in front we'll have Mbappe on the left, Thuram in the middle, and Griezmann on the right. Now this I don't really believe. I'll explain to you why. France has a very solid defense. Didier de Shamps, after the match against Georgia, and especially after the match against Holland, which finished 0-0, he said that if you want to win a championship which is so short, which lasts a month, you have to have a super solid defense. That's what he is doing. His defense is super solid, and his midfield is a very strong filter. You see it. And all the imagination is delegated up front. It's Mbappe, it's Griezmann, it's Thuram. Thuram is not exactly a center forward. You cannot call him a center forward. He is not really a center forward in Inter Milan where he plays. He plays next to Lautaro Martinez, and Lautaro Martinez, the Argentinian, he is the one who always gets a possibility to be in a goal position. I am not that certain that France is going to play in the same lineup. Now here, I'll tell you what I think at the end. I'll just finish somehow here. Average positions. We can have a look, and they're sort of, number 7 of Georgia is a dangerous man. Kvaratskhelia is a very dangerous man. Oh, sorry. What am I talking about? It's not Georgia. It's Belgium called France-Belgium. France-Belgium. Sorry, I made a mistake. The most dangerous player in Belgium, of course, is De Bruyne. And De Bruyne is somebody who sees spaces. And you see, Tchouaméni was always around him, especially in say 75 minutes of the game. 75 minutes of the game. Then the change was made. The first change was made by Domenico Tedesco, and then he substituted Mangala. And at this point, he gave much more space to De Bruyne. De Bruyne moved closer to Lukaku. At this point, De Bruyne and Lukaku became more dangerous. But it was a little bit too late. France, as we see, France in front. Thuram was in front. He was quite well watched by Vertonghen. But the moment, not the moment, the few minutes have to pass. Deschamps made a change. Instead of Thuram, Randall, Kolo, Mani came in, and he erupted into, well, it's not that he erupted, it was a very nice combination. Griezmann, Kanté, then the ball to Colomwani. He was in the center of the penalty box. He just turned around and he kicked from a turn. He didn't really see the net. He felt it in his back. And unfortunately, for Belgium, Vertonghen touched it with his knee. He was trying to block it, and the ball changed direction, and the goalkeeper was absolutely unable to do anything. So, in fact, if in Belgium, moving up, De Bruyne changed the game, but without great consequences. So, Colomani really changed the game. When he changed the game, he scored the goal. That's most important. In football, scoring goals is important. Though today I like I really like the tradition when defenders, they express all the joy after after performing a successful tackle or saving a difficult ball, because they consider it to be really its goals worth. So now you have sort of more joy in the football field. Now, before, if you remember, I mean, somebody of a great defenders did a fantastic tackle. Well, he would get up, get up and continue playing. No. Now, with his whole body language, he expresses his joy. And in fact, it's nice. It's nice. It makes the game more emotional, much more emotional for the viewer. France so far scored 3 goals. 2 were scored by their opponents in their own net, and 1 was scored through a penalty by Mbappe. It's sort of Mbappe is the key player, and most of the people, I mean, journalists, of course, for sort of screamy headlines, they put Ronaldo and Mbappe and say old generation, new generation. Excuse me. And Mbappe is coming, Ronaldo is leaving. First of all, Mbappe is not coming today. He's already a world champion. He has a long way, but he's already a world champion. Ronaldo was never a world champion. Ronaldo was a European champion, but that wasn't a European champion. But to say that Ronaldo is leaving and Mbappe is coming, yeah, it's a nice headline, but it's not so close to reality, because even if the speed of Ronaldo, I just had a look, is lower than it was before, but he has a sense of a goal. Plus, it would be nice to see from Ronaldo to sort of a little bit more participating teams passing. You see, here is Ronaldo. Griezmann. Here we have France. Griezmann is a key player for France, an absolutely key player. He plays everywhere. He plays on the left. He plays on the right. He plays in the center. If he sort of catches a good night, this guy determines all the attacking football of France, because he opens spaces, he gives the passes, he performs most of the free kicks and corners. So, but I wanted to see Ronaldo. Here is Ronaldo. Ronaldo is our
It's Belgium.
number 7.
It's Belgium.
Pardon me?
It's Belgium.
It's Belgium. It's Belgium. Listen, it's not that difficult to make a mistake, because I haven't shown I haven't shown the most. Ah, yes, I have. I just did not turn the page. So, okay, to finish France, what I think about France. Let's just once more have a look at France uh, mm, and Belgium. What do I think? I think that uh, I think that Sané is going to play, uh, and I think that uh, I think that Colomani is also going to play. I think that uh, Thierry Henry, what am I saying? Thuram is going to be is not going to start the game here today. He's not going to start the game. Mbappe and Griezmann are going, but instead of Thuram, we will have Colomani. Instead of right side Griezmann, will have Sané. I think that Griezmann will play behind this trio, behind this line, and Kante and Tchouaméni, I think Tchouaméni are going to play behind Griezmann. It's a big risk against Portugal. It's a big risk, but keeping in mind that their most dangerous players are Ronaldo, who is, as I say, not the quickest now today, uh, and Bruno Fernandes, who plays in the middle. Now, Vitinha, as a midfielder, is also a very good player, no doubt. But maybe Deschamps will risk something like that. Of course, I say that because maybe, maybe I would risk, but he may not. He may not. So therefore, I'm not sure about Sané, but it would be really, it would be. No, I'm very sorry, my dear friends, but it happens. When you do 4 games, it happens. Sané does not play for France. Sané plays for Germany. So he has Bradley Barcola, who played one of the games in this Euro. And playing Barcola, who is white, the only thing that he's left-footed and so is Mbappe. Mbappe is the most effective on the left. The only thing I would not do, let's put it that way, I would not play Mbappe in the center. Mbappe in the center loses 50% of his efficiency. I'm very sorry for my mistake, but that really, life, anything happens. And in fact, well, he has Dembele, but Dembele is not really, he didn't have a great championship so far. He's not, I don't know what he showed in the trainings, but he's not very dependable today. Now, the last game we're going to have a look, and that will involve Portugal and Portugal, Slovenia, which was played on Portugal, Slovenia. Here it is. It finished 0-0, as you remember. Ronaldo didn't score, or better, Oblak took Ronaldo's penalty in the normal time. But then on penalties, Portugal won easily, 3-0. 3-0 in the sense that Slovenia missed, or not exactly missed, because Diogo Costa he parried all three balls. He's considered to be the best penalty taker in Champions League, and Oblak is considered to be the worst, or among the worst. Oblak is very good. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the goal. He's one of the best goalkeepers playing with his legs, but he's not a penalty taker. So here, Portugal played, I think, more or less the way they're going to play today. Ronaldo up front, Rafael on the left, Bruno Fernandes as a middle midfielder, and Bernardo Silva on the right. Yeah, I think this is the best squad. You have Paulinho is, I don't know, it's sort of not, it's not my favorite player, let's put that way. Vitinha is, no doubt. He played a great Champions League in PSG and is very, very good. And Pepe and Ruben Diaz in the middle, and Mendes and Cancelo on the right. Now, I'll tell you that if you look at the attacking thirds, and you look, this is Portugal. Now, Portugal attacked more on the left, where Leao plays. It did not really attack a lot through the center, and sort of average on the right side. As far as passing is concerned, if you look at the design, so here is Bernardo Silva, here is Ronaldo. You see, Ronaldo didn't receive that many balls. He did not receive that many playable balls. And it's not because he was not opening himself enough. He was not moving enough. He was not looking. I mean, it's a mess in the midfield. It's a real mess. I don't see any logic in it. They pass balls to each other. They don't pass it into the depth of the opponent. Bernardo Silva plays not on the flank, but more in the center. But João Cancelo, who in that game, in my opinion, was the best player, thanks to him, the right flank was covered, and he created most of the dangers in the penalty box of Slovenia. But otherwise, okay, fine. You see that Pepe, Mendes was very quick, also very quick player. So Pepe, Nando, and Rafa Leao, yes, Rafa Leao gave quite a few passes to, not too many, but quite a few passes to. He looked for Cristiano, but the rest of the players, maybe they looked, but they didn't find him. Cristiano today is a little bit of a problem for Portugal. If in the first game he was not, now after insisting of playing the last group game against Georgia, which was absolutely unimportant, and he could have missed it, and he could have recovered energy. Instead of that, he insisted on playing, and he played. He didn't play a full game, but he played almost 75 minutes. And it's, first of all, you do wrong to yourself. Second of all, you do wrong to the team. To yourself, because you could a little bit, so you could save yourself for the next match, but he wanted to score a goal. He wanted to score a goal. He must score a goal. And as far as the team is concerned, well, if the manager, Roberto Martinez, the ex-manager of Belgium, Roberto Martinez decides to change the team, just let the others to pick up energy, while you the only one who insists. It's, he was a team player, and now he's an individual player. And it all depends upon him again today. Is he going to play for himself, or is he going to play for the team? I know it sounds harsh, because no footballer plays for himself, but Ronaldo has he has that character. He must draw attention. If Ronaldo doesn't draw attention, it's not Ronaldo. And today, the attention has to be drawn by the team, not by a single player. If you have, I wanted to have a look just at Slovenia, because they didn't have a lot of initiative, but look how nice their geometry looks. It's like we always say that some in the midfield prefer to play diamond. So that means a low center midfielder, a high center midfielder, and two lateral midfielders. So it forms like a kind of a diamond. Here, the whole team played as a diamond. The only player was Elshnik, who was more or less free to travel in spaces. But actually, the whole team looked like a diamond. And, it was an efficient diamond. It was a diamond. Diamonds are usually difficult to crack. And this diamond turned out to be very difficult to crack. So, if, by the way, the slowest player in Portugal is Ruben Dias, a central defender, and João Cancelo is quite fast, 31.5. So two of them are basically going to play on the right side against Mbappe. And I think that Cancelo is not going to be as active as he was in the previous game, in the first knockouts game. And we'll see. Mbappe is very quick. After Nico Williams, Mbappe is the fastest player in this European Championship. And my anticipation, I think that France is favored. France is favored because of its solidity, because it doesn't, its star, Mbappe, he plays for the team. He doesn't play for himself. And because they have a very, very pragmatic coach, which is with that team, many years. Didier de Shamps, he won a world championship with French team. He took them to the final in Qatar, and the only thing he's missing is a European championship. Well, maybe this time will be the good time. As far as Roberto Martinez is concerned, he is not long ago with Portugal, and even though he is Latin, but I don't think that he caught all the subtleties of the Portuguese character. Sorry, it was long, but the games are important. It's very difficult to say in 4 words, especially if you make 2 or 3 mistakes. So I'm sorry for the mistakes. I think I corrected them all. If I did not, you let me know, and I'll be very thankful. And see you tomorrow, more or less at the same time.